Some days we want to bring the heat, and some days it's just a miracle to make it onto our mats. That's the vibe we're going to be celebrating today. Welcome to Wealthy Boss. My name's Mariah. I bring you bar, yoga, Pilates workouts, as well as meditations on the regular. So if you are into that type of thing and have not subscribed before, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Well, I've got a gentle Pilates practice for you today, whether you are just getting over being sick like I am, maybe it's been a long time since you've worked out and you just kind of want to ease into it. Maybe you didn't get much sleep last night. Whatever the reason is, it is more important that you show up and get a little bit of movement in, just get that blood flowing. You're going to feel so much better after you did that. There's plenty of other days to hit it hard, but the people who are the most consistent are the ones who honor their bodies and still show up in some way and give whatever they have today, and I'm proud of you for being here. We don't need any equipment today, maybe just a mat in case you're working on the hard floor. Now let's get to work, kinda. All right, my friends, we're going to begin in a high kneeling position. If you need a towel or something underneath to cushion your knees, feel free. You can also roll that mat underneath you. We're going to take our thumbs behind our rib cage and the other four fingers in front. Now go ahead and allow the eyes to close as we begin to take some deep inhales through the nose. And then exhale through the mouth through pursed lips like a straw. Good, just filling the lungs with air on the inhale. Feeling those fingers separate as the ribs press apart from each other on the inhale. Exhale, feel everything pull back in. Coming into an awareness of your body, invigorating the body through breath, cleansing and detoxifying just through the simple act of intentional breathing. Let's do one more, shall we? And allow the eyes to open. We're going to take both the arms up on the inhale. Now, I'd like you to actually take your shoulders and shrug them all the way up as you lift that entire upper body up to the ceiling. On the exhale, I just want you to drop the shoulders down away from the ears. So without bending or straightening the elbows, everything stays as is with the arms. The shoulders sneak up on the inhale, so because of that, the fingertips reach a little bit higher, and then exhale, the fingertips drop by dropping the shoulders down. A few more rounds like this. So this is our shoulder elevation and depression. Now, which of these two positions do we normally tend to wear our shoulders in throughout the rest of the day? Usually kind of up here. We may not notice it because our fingertips are not lifted up all the time walking around. But whenever we're scared or stressed, or if we're just not paying attention as we're leaning over our devices, we tend to hug our shoulders up around our ears, and that can really throw off our posture. It can decrease blood flow to the brain. So we want to make sure we're aware of where those shoulders are in space. One more inhale. Shrug, shrug, shrug. It's almost like you can touch those shoulders with your ears, and then exhale. So for the rest of today's practice, we want to make sure we're drawing those shoulders down. Perfect. Fingertips come forward this time towards me. And then without rocking forward and back with the body, we want to stay super stick straight with that body. Round the shoulders forward on the inhale. So you can actually take a peek and see the top of your shoulder joint in front of you. And then exhale, just slide the shoulders back towards the wall behind you. So inhale, you're reaching and stretching fingertips towards me, feeling a little tug at the back of the upper back. And then exhale, shoot those shoulders straight back. So those fingertips move a good kind of 3 to 4 inches, maybe more if you have longer arms than I do. And so you can see what a big difference this shoulder position makes in our whole biomechanical posture. So again, normally we round forward if we're not noticing, if we're not careful throughout the day, but we want to practice drawing those shoulders back, kind of proud dancer's posture. One more inhale forward. Exhale, draw it back. Doesn't that also already feel nicer to have the shoulders back? And relax the arms down. Maybe just one inhale as we stretch up, looking up to the fingers. Exhale, hands come down, and let's move to an all fours position. So hands and knees on the mat. We're gonna begin to wake up the body a little bit. But remember, this is your lazy day workout. If you want to skip reps, you can. If you want to skip one of the exercises, you can. Let's extend the left leg behind you. Now noticing if you're either dropping the hip down or hiking it up, let's try to keep the belly button centered, aiming directly towards the ground underneath. We're going to do a little lift, knee pull, extend behind and tap. Lift, knee pull, extend behind and tap. The breath moves like this. It's an inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. One more. We're not going to do a lot of reps today. This is our lazy day Pilates workout. And rest. Perfect. Now we're going to add a little leg lift. We're going to go into a modified push-up. So elbows come out to the side today. Tap down. So it's a lift, little push-up, press back up, and tap. So sometimes I do this with elbows facing behind. Today, I want them to go towards the side of the mat. Perfect. It's going to be inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Or you can reverse that if you're following more of a traditional breath. Just make sure you are breathing deeply. Perfect. Take a little rest here, and then we're going to put all of that together. So we do a leg lift into a knee pull, extend behind and push up. Go ahead and tap it back down to complete. So lift, give me that knee pull, extend and push up, and tap it down. Just one more. Knee pull, elbows out to the side, and let's take a little shell pose before we switch sides. So we send the hips back towards the heels, pressing fingertips forward, giving that spine a little rest, giving the belly a little rest before we take it to the other side. Inhaling through the nose and perhaps exhaling through pursed lips through the mouth. That's our Pilates breath. And let's rock it forward for side two. So we extend the right toenails to the mat this time, and it's a lift into a knee pull. So inhale, exhale, inhale, tap it down. We are working into our deep core muscles here by extending one leg at a time. The obliques, the sides of the waist are needing to kick in. Perfect. Let's go one more. And now we mix it up. So we do a leg lift into a push-up, elbows go wide, tap back down. So the whole time we're doing this, we're thinking about drawing the belly in towards the spine and then pressing the ground away so that the shoulders are really broad. We don't want to be collapsing here. Really press the ground away. Good. Continue that nice deep breath. This is our last one. And let's put it all together. So it's a leg lift into a knee pull. Extend it long. Push up, please. And tap the ground. You can skip the push-up if you like, or you can just make it a little baby push-up. This is your lazy Pilates day, right? Tap it down. And this is our last one. That's it. And tap it down. Perfect. We're going to make our way onto our belly for some swimming. Extending, fingers forward, legs behind, kind of separate the legs just a little bit. We're going to lift now, alternating arm and leg. And then once you have that movement, I want you to look down at the mat so you keep your neck happy. And then maybe start to pick up the pace, drawing the belly slightly away from the mat, keeping the back of the neck long. Now maybe we pair it with some breath where it's 2 breaths in, 2 breaths out. Keeping that breath pattern going for a few more breaths. Keeping back of the neck long, really stretching and paddling like you're swimming in the ocean. For 3, 2, and 1. Relax it down. Beautiful job. Another shell pose, please. Knees come wide. Setting seat towards heels, resting the forehead down onto the mat. Maybe your heart rate got elevated just a little bit. Taking some nice, calming, soothing breaths. And then let's rock it forward, coming to lie down on our hip. We're going to take the knees at a 90-degree angle, coming to take the elbow underneath us. Now, we want to make sure that the elbow is right under the shoulder, so it's not way out here and it's not all the way in here. We want it to have it stacked in that nice 90-degree angle. Knees are slightly forward to the hips, not too much, just a little bit. And we're going to do a little hip lift and down. Lift and down. So we're not only strengthening the sides of our waist here, we're getting just a touch of a wake up in that bottom shoulder as well. We're going to exhale and lift. Inhale down. Now maybe when you lift the hips, you start to add a little higher lift of that top leg. We're just going to do a few of these, and you can leave that part out. You decide how high to come up. Here's 2. Here's 1. Now rest for just a second. Come on to your side. We're going to pop right back into it, but since it's a lazy day Pilates workout, I'm giving you this nice long rest in between. Deep inhale. Sigh it out. One more addition to add on to that if you'd like. So we go back up. This time we're going to just lift up. Now we add the leg lift, kick it at a diagonal, back to 90, and then everything comes down. So we go up, then we lift, extend, pull it in, come down. It's a lift, add the leg lift, extend, pull it in, and this time we're coming all the way down onto our side. The head can be supported by that bottom hand, and then the fingertips come to kind of help pitch us so that we don't fall forward. So kind of pitching those fingertips like a tent. And we're going to extend the legs long. We're going to take the kneecap up to the ceiling so the toes come in to that bottom knee. We extend it up for a stretch, toes pointed, and then we'll flex the foot and lower. If you find it more comfortable for that bottom hip or for your balance to take that bottom knee forward, you may kind of experiment both ways and see how that feels. Getting some nice active stretching here. Being aware of our posture, that those shoulders are nice and open. Nicely done. We're going to do an inhale and exhale. One more inhale and exhale. Perfect. We're going to spin the kneecap towards me now. Point the toe and just straight leg lifts up and down, working into the side of the seat just a little bit. Mostly just kind of getting a little bit of mobility and blood flow into those hips. Exhale and lift. Inhale and lower. Checking in with that posture again. And then pause with knees about hip width distance apart. I'd like you to draw that heel in towards your seat. And then without collapsing in the shoulders, I'd like you to dip that knee towards the ground and then reach it up, reach the toe behind you. Now we can make this sloppy if we want by rocking and rolling with the torso, but I'd like the rest of the torso to stay as still as possible so we get some of that core control. So moving that hip in circumduction, just a big fancy word for moving it around in a circle. Really good for that mobility, and we're building up some strength as well. Tap, find those toes, tap, toes, last one. Perfect. And then let's repeat that whole series on the other side. So I'm just going to swing my legs in the other direction. We're starting with that elbow under the shoulder. Extend, we're going to take actually the bent knees to begin. Knees are slightly forward to the hips, not too far forward. And it's a little lift and tap. Lift and tap. So strengthening the side body here as well as that bottom shoulder. I don't care how high you lift today. I'm just impressed that you're here. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Now maybe we add that little top knee. Again, we're not aiming for the sky today. We're just celebrating moving our bodies. We're just doing enough to feel good, so that we want to come back and work out again tomorrow and have a pleasant association with our workout. Let's do 2. Here's 1. Now we get to take that little rest again, right? Nothing wrong with that. And guess what? Whether or not your teacher gives you permission to take a rest, in any workout, it's okay to take a rest. This is your workout. You don't get any gold stars for powering through, and that's more likely to make you have such a negative experience with it that you don't want to do it again. Consistency happens through repetition, and progress happens through consistency. All right, let's come back up onto that elbow. And again, we're only going to do a few reps, but this time we lift the hips, leg lift, and shoot the toes at a diagonal, bend back in, everything comes home together. So lift, whoops, now we have the leg lift. Point towards me, pull it back in, come on home. Are you still breathing? Oh yeah, we don't want to forget that part. And that's the last one, we did it. Perfect, come all the way down. Support that head, bottom hand. Either extend that bottom leg long or pull the knee in, whatever makes more sense for you. As we reach the top knee up to the ceiling, find that bottom knee, and then it's a lift as we point, flex the foot and lower. Point it up, reach to the ceiling, flex and lower. Nice big breath, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's do one more. And then spin that kneecap towards me, point the toe up and down. Working into that side of the seat, our gluteus medius. This helps keep us free from knee pain by keeping all of that musculature balanced in the seat. Exhale, inhale. Let's do 2 more. Perfect. Now as we bend that knee so that the heel comes in towards the seat, we can still keep a point in that toe. Without rocking forward and back, we want to keep everything nice and still here. Reach the front knee up and over like a little ring, tapping towards the ground, toe comes towards the mat. How still can you keep your shoulders? Your shoulders are a telltale sign here as to what is going on in the rest of the core. Did the shoulders come up around the ears? Remember we practiced that earlier. We want to draw the shoulders away from the ears. Keep that breath flowing. Let's do 2 more. Last one, you're doing great. And let's come all the way down onto our backs. Not quite ready to take a nap, but almost, or almost there. I'd like you to broaden the shoulders beneath you, extending the arms facing palm down towards the mat. We're going to take the legs and then pull the knees into the chest as we come into our double leg stretch. So give the knees a little squeeze. As you do that, lengthen and point the tailbone down towards the mat. On an inhale, without letting the arch of the back lift, so we press everything firmly into the mat, extend the legs and the arms in a little V shape. So it's inhale and open. Exhale, we swing the arms around to hug the knees into the chest. So maybe we do that a little faster. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. The whole time that we're doing this, we're pulling belly in so that we avoid arching in the low back. The entire length of the back is pressing flat into the mat. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. You can keep the V shape a little higher today. This is our nice gentle Pilates. That's going to keep a little bit of work out of the abdominals, but still get a little bit in. Inhale, open. Exhale, grab, open, and grab. One more. Perfect. We're going to lengthen the left leg up to the ceiling, extend the right leg long in a diagonal. We're going to keep our heads down for this one today. We're going to exhale, pump that leg towards you twice, and then switch. So as you pump that leg, I really want you to think about drawing the belly button tighter. This is still abdominal work as long as we are breathing deeply and pulling in with that belly. We're also getting some nice dynamic stretching here in those hamstrings. One more each direction. Perfect. Hug those knees into the chest. And then we're going to extend the legs to a tabletop position. So knees are right over the hips. Toes are pointed. And again, without letting those hips rock forward, we don't want to unweight that low back. Press everything down into the mat. One toe at a time. We're keeping that 90-degree bend in the knees so that we take one toe down by pressing the hip forward and come back. So a lot of times I'll see beginners kind of do this with their legs here. That's a different exercise for our toe taps. We maintain that same 90-degree bend, the same relationship from calf to hamstring the entire time. And the challenge here is in really gluing that back down onto the mat. And the knees are only coming up right above the hips. They're not coming all the way into the chest. Let's take a deep inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Finding some nice mobility in the hips, a little bit of work in the abdominals. Are you broadening those shoulders? Are you keeping them down away from the ears? Perfect. Let's take everything down to the mat so the feet come down. And then let's just do a couple of articulating bridges to really open up that spine before we end our practice. So we'll actually even start with a couple of pelvic rocks. So on an inhale, I'd like you to pull everything back. The back of the hips are pressing down into the mat like we were in those previous 3 exercises. On an exhale, we press the hips forward. So now you can kind of see my fingers are sliding in between the mat and my low back. That's how much space we want to create. So we're kind of exaggerating that arch. And then inhale, rock it back and erase that arch. So exhale, hips come forward. The small of the back leaves the mat. Exhale, rock it forward. Inhale, rock it back. Exhale, rock it forward. Inhale, rock it back. Let's do one more. And this is kind of our warm-up for our articulating bridge. So with our articulating bridge, we press the hips back, and it's that continuous kind of backwards rolling motion that we're going for as we aim the pubic bone up towards the chest. And we are going to lift only one bone at a time, if we can imagine segmenting the spine. So first we lift the seat off the mat, then the waistband of the pants, and we're curling that belly button in towards the chest. In, and then the low back, mid back. Use your exhale. Take about 3 deep exhales to come all the way up. Notice if you're falling out to the outer edges of the feet. Of course, I'm exaggerating a little bit there, but making sure you're pressing just as much into the inner arches of the feet as you are the outer edges of the feet. 2 deep breaths here. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth through pursed lips, not through the mouth. And then today we're actually going to lift our heels to come down so we get even more separation in that spine. So exhale, continuing to draw the hips up and back, belly button towards spine. We set the bra line down, the mid back. The tailbone comes down nice and slow. Drop the heels down. Let's come up again. Inhale, roll belly button back to face the sternum or the breastbone. Rolling hips back, one bone at a time. Take several deep exhales to get you there. Quick inhales in between. Now let's take a couple of deep breaths here. Pressing just as much into those inner arches, remember? Let's lift the heels, one bone at a time. Really imagining each and every space between each and every vertebra, creating more space and freedom in the spine, hugging the knees into the chest. We'll rock and roll like a ball a few times to come up, hugging belly in so we can form a little C curve here. And you made it through. Well, you showed up, and that is absolutely amazing. I would love to hear if this practice was what you're hoping for, so leave me a comment below. I'm also always taking requests. Now, before you go, I'd like to take this opportunity, if you are just kind of getting back into a healthy routine, to share one of my favorite nutrition hacks, because we know it's not just all about movement and what we do on the mat, it's how we take care of ourselves off the mat as well. Now, I'm a big believer in eating simple, healthy, clean foods most of the time, but there are so many nutritional deficiencies out there right now. Lots of environmental research shares that our fruits and vegetables no longer contain nearly the amount of nutrition that they used to. So one of my favorite ways to make sure I'm getting that extra boost of nutrition in, little insurance policy if you will, is through Organifi green juice blend. So this comes in a powdered form, which is a lot cheaper than going out and getting those green juices fresh pressed every day. Super easy and portable, and guess what? It tastes good. It has mint, it has coconut water in it. Tastes really amazing, and it's made by people that I absolutely trust. These are some of the highest quality superfoods you can find out there, and what's more, they're produced in the most clean, pure, cold processed fashion to make sure you're getting all those amazing nutrients from things like chlorella, spirulina, some medicinal mushrooms, and again, it actually tastes really good. I like to mix it with a scoop of vanilla protein. I mix it up in a mason jar with some ice, and it's a great, actually good tasting way to make sure I'm getting that extra support that my body needs for that healthy lifestyle. You can save 15% by using the code WEALTHY at checkout on both the Organifi green juice as well as any other amazing nutritional superfood beverages. So I will also link to that in the description below. If you liked this workout, please give it a thumbs up. That is so nice of you to do that, and I can't wait to hang out with you next time. Have a great day and a great week.